welcome for anyone who is new, and thank you for anyone who's returning. I know I look a little crazy. I'm off from work, so I did want to still record my everyday makeup routine, only because I haven't done it yet, and I don't know, I just want to share what I do for anyone who also works like hybrid like me. It's like I'll have to go into our offices, but also I may sometimes be at home. Either way, I have to be on Zoom because it won't be all of my team in person. And so yeah, I'm just gonna show you what I do when I am typically working. So before I do anything, as I always say, I just go in with a few pumps of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And for me, I really enjoy using it because, as you can see, my skin gets a little dry and I hate it. I hate when it looks dry and not radiant. So I feel like this primer just brings my skin back to life sometimes, especially after I put it on top of my skincare. And I don't have everything I would love for skincare, so I'm just working with what I have. And actually right after this, I'm going to be doing my locks, so I don't care about product really even getting into my hair like I normally would, only because it needs to be washed anyway, if you can't tell, because it's so stiff and dirty. And yeah, so one of my staples in my everyday makeup routine is the brow freezing, was it, oh, brow freeze brow styling wax from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And it just gives me, you know, a more defined brow. I haven't used anything before this that I liked better, so I don't know if you can see the difference, but it's very slight, but I like the way it looks. So I just do that. And I'm actually just gonna do the other eye, come back and show you how I attempt to shape it each time. So now I'm just moving closer. I'm sorry about my pores and my hair. Everything is just rough, but you see how my brows are shaped up. The one thing I would suggest doing is to take, I'm just gonna take a flat brush like this and dip it in my Black Radiance banana powder. It's like a loose satin powder, and just go back over the brows just to keep them in place, because I think I mentioned in another video that when I didn't do this, yeah, my brows were like flaking. So I think that this just helps to keep them in place a little bit. So now that I went in with a little bit of powder, I'm just gonna take this E.L.F. Camo Concealer in the shade Tan Neutral, and I'm gonna also take this flat brush and shape out the bottom of my brow before I fill it in. So I'm going in very lightly because I have a very heavy hand, and I sometimes tend to put too much product, and then it'll ruin the shape of, like, if I was trying to do my brow. But I'm working on using whatever product is left over and just, you know, going back in. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And then I'm gonna take the extra and use it on top of my brow. So I always do one brow better than the other, but I'm gonna go in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and I'm sorry about the spoolie. It has like, I don't use it, but I do use the pen part. So I use the spoolie for something I was trying to experiment with, and I'm sorry that you have to look at it, but I'm just going in lightly at the edge of my brow to kind of fill it in more. And then I like to just go on the edge and shape it out. So I don't put too much, and I'll do the same thing to this brow and come back. All right, so our eyebrows are what? Sisters, not twins. I'm gonna go back in with that E.L.F. Camo Concealer to just kind of lighten my under eye and any dark spots that I feel I don't really want to be seen. Usually I do my neck too. I'm doing it very light this time because I plan to film a more creative makeup look after I do my hair. I need to do my hair for work because anyone who works in any type of any work field with locks, but especially a professional work field, you want it to be like, you want them to be nice and neat so that people don't have anything to say about your natural hair. And that's how I feel sometimes, is I just don't even want people to, you know, I just don't want it to be a problem. So yeah, I look a little crazy, but I'm about to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte. I don't know why I can't say it, but I love this Maybelline foundation because, I don't know. So now I'm just blending it out with this flat brush that came in a set from Amazon. And see, you can tell, like, you know, I have a little bit of makeup, but like, I don't know, it just blends very nicely into my skin, and it still looks like me because I don't have perfect, like a perfect even skin tone. I really don't, but I already had this little bit of radiance underneath just from the products that I'm using. So I'm gonna add some more and I will be back. So I'm looking a little crazy, but I always do. I'm just going in with the shade Deep Cinnamon from E.L.F. And I wish I had more. I'm running out. They didn't have any at the store when I went on Saturday. So yeah, I still want to use whatever is left because I feel like it helps to even me out a little bit more. But as my makeup oxidizes, you'll see I do just have like darker areas, and my eczema has been bad, so bear with me. So I just sprayed and I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit while I figure out what brush to use. So as you can see, it blended out really nicely. I'm just gonna now go back in with this tan neutral. I'm hoping to lift my eye, but I don't ever really do this correctly. But I still try. So I like that brightness around the center of my face, only because I can look very serious sometimes, and I feel like when I brighten my under eye, sometimes it gives me like a little softer kind of look instead of me looking like, but usually I'm like, so I'm just gonna try to see what this blends like with this bigger brush that I got from Amazon. If not, I'll try to go back in with that same concealer brush. So now that all that is done, I'm using the Black Radiance loose setting powder in the shade Banana and the Laura Mercier setting powder. I'll just take another brush like this and blend it out. Now that I've kind of wiped away all of the powder, so now that I've done everything, I'm just gonna add some blush, and I just use eyeshadow as a blush because I like to use eyeshadow because it shows up more. I know when I get other brands blush, it just doesn't really show up on my skin, and or it's very mute, and so I like to look crazy. I will blend this properly. So I kind of went overboard, but that is okay because I can just kind of move it around. And I like for it to be messy and all over my face because I like to look, you know, like warm and refreshed, and it's really just that simple. So next I'm just gonna go in with my highlighter from and I don't know what the shade is. Apricot Glow. Okay. So I'm using the shade Apricot Glow, and I sprayed it with setting spray before I actually put my brush in it, and that's probably why it's showing up a little bit better because usually it doesn't. I'm not that good at cheek highlighter, but I don't normally even care about the cheeks unless I didn't do my blush as harsh, but I only really care about the highlighter on my nose because that will be seen a lot more. So before I go in with my mascara, I'm just going to use this Voluminous Lash Paradise Primer by L'Oreal. And I'm not used to using like a mascara primer or lash primer for mascara, but I am looking for a glue that doesn't irritate my eye, but also figuring out where is it safe, you know, to even by Lash Glue. I'm gonna let that sit, put some mascara on, and come back. Okay, so now that I've done my mascara, and it doesn't need to be perfect, I don't really care. I'm just gonna finish off with my lipstick and my look will be done. But I'm going in with this lipstick from the lip bar that I always use, and I think it's the shade, yeah, it's Low Key, and of course it will be linked. So one of my friends was asking me what lip liners I use, and I was like, I really don't. I feel like I don't know. I like using lipstick better. I know some people don't, but I do. And the next thing I'm gonna go on with is this liquid lipstick from Anastasia in the shade Ashton. It's this pretty like pinkish nude color. I like to just go in with that over top of my other lipstick and then spread it out. So I will sometimes do this like a couple of times just to make sure that it is all over. Just go back in. And colors actually do not even blend because I'm using a flat brush. Just to soften them up. And I'm gonna see if I can like fix my hair and come back.